Hello and welcome back to the Virgo channel. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Laura and I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid, roles can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. If you're new to the channel, also know anything of any importance or relevance to the channel, you can find it in the description box below. You can also um, find me on my other YouTube channels and Patreon link, all that good stuff. What was I going to say? Oh, I wanted to also mention, if you're new to my channel, that I like to go deep within my reading. So I don't just like to look at what goes on the surface. We do look at the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience. It gives you an opportunity to heal because when you see your situation from a different perception, and then we pull in the last bits of cards, which are what you can do to balance out your energy. You really do learn. And that's really important because healing is all about integrating the spiritual lesson, learning how you're blocking yourself. Now, that doesn't mean that the person that you're dealing with isn't imbalanced. However, the dynamic of the relationship couldn't play out unless you were doing something to also help it. There's many different realities that play out at one time. What we choose to do, obviously, is how we manifest our karma. All right. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you need to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video, it's also how I like to start my readings off. It's like what spirit wants me to look at. Okay, let's take a peek. Okay, disgust. Loathing. Like, disgust. And again, as you see in the back, loathing. Again, obviously, that's when you can't stand something. And it's like, I feel as if your person is so disgusted with themselves. And that is really bad. And it's really bad because they see how they continually sabotage themselves. They're not speaking to you, and they really wish that they were speaking to you, but they were very self-righteous. They were cocky, and they didn't want to apologize. They thought that they were going to hold out, emotionally manipulate you by again holding back, thinking that you were going to get all crazy and wild and chase them down, and that's not what happened. And so they're loathing themselves also because they're connected to people that they don't want to be connected to. They're living a life that they don't really want to live. So really what it comes down to is that I feel like you and this person, there's a very strong spiritual connection, a very strong 5D connection, but not a very strong 3D connection. And that's mainly because your person, they lived by their ego. They lived by the rules of what I want to say society says is good. It was important to show people how they wanted to be perceived, not really what was. And so what I'm feeling is, again, you're not talking to them. They're not liking their life. They're connected to people that drain their energy, people that, you know, have a lot, that drive nice cars and care about the clothes that they wear and care. It's to the point that it overrides the relationship is what your person is connected to. And it's very draining to them because those people continually like want to do things, want your person to pay for things, and I don't even feel like it's a romantic relationship. I feel like it's either family or it's, friends. Again, the same friends um, that are telling your person not really to date you. I feel like they listen to a lot of outside noise. They don't have their own life. And this is what they're realizing. They're realizing that they're embarrassed. They're embarrassed of their life. This is the underlying energy. So if your person isn't coming anywhere near you, it's because they don't know how to fix their life. I'm not even saying the connection with you, their life. It's like you are an element of their life. I believe when they met you, they thought that their life was fine. They really did. They thought that, they thought who they were. And now It's again, time has changed. The separation has been a long time. And I just think that your person has found themselves in one bad situation after another situation after another situation. The situations that also have drained their money and drained their peace of mind. So, like, when I tap into this person, I almost feel like they're frazzled, they're really emotional. And yes, they're thinking about you, they're sorrowful of what they did to you, but nevertheless, they're like so stuck on themselves. That's the underlining energies. Let's see why I'm pulling this energy. Let's look at some hidden truths. Let's pull some cards. I can't stop thinking about you. Yeah, because it's again, they're seeing the difference. They see that you're not all glamoury and glitzy and it's you don't care about what other people perceive you as. You beat, you march to your own drum, you dance to your own beat, however they say that. Well, it's again, what they're realizing is that's a lot more attractive than the name brands and keeping up with the Joneses and keeping up with appearances that actually got really exhausting and draining. I regret lying to you. And again, yeah, this person pretended to be someone that they weren't. It's again, they overspent, they lived way beyond their means, trying to fit in with different societies that they perceived as elite. Um, they acted like they didn't care about you. They undermined their connection to you. So just on every like perception, they're regretting their life. This is why they are in disgust. I love you. So this is the underlining energy. Let's pull one more. I lost myself for a while, and that's what happens. It's like they got so stuck in their head. They're still stuck in trying to figure out how to fix their life that I feel like they just wound up isolating themselves and drinking a lot and just wasting time not really doing anything. But if you drink a lot and you smoke a lot of weed because you're trying to escape, this is the energy there because they didn't know what to do. It's like they were losing their money. They made choices that they shouldn't have made. They acted like they were someone else to you. They're surrounded by a bunch of people that they don't resonate with anymore. They're looking at their life like, what is this that I'm living? Like, what's important to me? And anything that's really important to me is like none of these people anymore are important to me. I feel like at one time those people were important. It's almost like a vibe of um, somebody that has a bunch of friends, and those friends were more like family. They had too much say, they had too much. And we've been getting a lot of that lately. I'm not going to lie. I feel like we're in spiritual times now. So anything that is really out of alignment with how we're supposed to be, it's like if we're not living our true self, and the true self is that God part of self, the love part of ourself, the higher self. We're not living that truth because when we're living from the higher self, we're living from a place of unconditional love, which actually is our truth. Well, when we're not living that way, what happens is like I said, we have to create facades, and that's really exhausting. And it's really difficult to keep up over time if we're continually wearing different hats for different people. We're becoming like a chameleon to fit in to the point that we don't have an identity, to the point that the people that are surrounding this person is like almost like a parasite. So of course they wouldn't have anything to give to you. But the thing is, it's like being connected to those people. They might have a business together. They might, again, it's the elite, not even business, just my cronies, my people that I want to be seen with. But those people are toxic. And in order to fit in to that, they have to, like, again, suppress who they are. Of course they lost who they are. If you're like drinking yourself to death or like smoking yourself to death or playing a role, of course you wouldn't like who you are. I will find my way back to you one day. It's again, we don't know when, but what they do know is that they're still thinking about you. Jealousy and possessiveness. Again, the people around them are extremely jealous and possessive, almost like somebody else is going to get something. It's like they don't look at your person like a person. They look at them more like what you can do for me, what it is that you bring to the table. It's not per se you, because we don't care whether you're happy or not. We're telling you to not pursue someone that we know you care about. So we only care about the ends to the means. We don't care about your life. We don't care about any of it. Please forgive me. It's again, they know that they've made the wrong decision by listening to these people. They feel like they're in hell right now. That's what they feel like. They feel like they're in hell right now. I check on you from afar. So they stalk you out on social media. This is the end. This is the end. I don't believe it's the end of you and them. I think it's the end of their life that they're living. Like it's almost like they know that they can't stay where they are because they've lost complete control over their life. I don't know whether it's like I said, family that had become friends that became family that had way too much power. It's almost like your person's afraid to say something. Past. It's again, they have a hard time of letting go of the past and the fears associated with it to the point that it creates a lot of chaos in their relationships. So they have trauma from their childhood, and that they it looks like they form these codependent, really toxic relationships. Doesn't matter if it's girl, doesn't matter if it's guy, it doesn't matter if it's friends, doesn't matter if it's lovers. It's the same karmic theme, and the same karmic theme is victimization. It's betrayal. It's also self-sabotage on their part, but then it's again, they attract people that create a lot of drama when they don't get what they want. So your person doesn't trust themselves. This is why, because this isn't the first time that this has happened. New set of people, per se, but it's not a different story. This is what makes them stay in this limited mindset that they're not good enough, that they're full of shame, that they're disgusted with themselves. And for lack of boundaries, no boundaries. Like I said, when you feel good about yourself and you're your own person, you can set boundaries to teach people how you want to be treated. Person doesn't do that. The trauma that they brought in their childhood is that they overgive to whoever is in their life to the point that they lose themselves. And then when they're like, you know what, I really don't want to do this, everyone's like, oh no, you're still going to do it. You're first will manipulate you into, believing that this is what you want to do, that you're a good person. We'll give you accolades and we'll praise you and you'll stay in your ego. And that worked for a while. Then what we'll do is if you like resist more, well, then we're going to make it like you're stupid. It's again, and we're going to gaslight you and we're going to create a lot of fear inside of you. So all this is because your person has not really formed a strong sense of self. Gaslighting, again, the environment, like I said, is gaslighting them. So I feel like what your person would do in order to hold on to you was they had to like a little bit gaslight you, right? Because they're not going to let you get close to them to see everything. They're going to shade everything. So again, so that you see them from their persona, which was that, they're elite, that they, have a lot of money, that they might have a great job, a lot of like family-owned business, let's just say, but they're the face of it. It's like they're the main person that's that's carrying everyone. And the irony is everybody around this person makes this person feel like a piece of shit. And that's the thing. So what you feel with this person is that they really are a soft person. They really are a kind person, but they were not that way to you. And that's another reason why they're disgusted. Ooh, okay, those cards just kind of like popped out. So let's see what they are. Tangled, again, is what I'm saying. Again, those people. And whoops. Oh my God, it stuck. Thank God there was only one. Tired. They're tired. It's again, they've gotten to a place of feeling really drained, really tired. They can't. And so let's see, what do they think about when they think about you? What are they going to do? Because we see that this is, if your person isn't coming near you, they are not talking to you, they aren't, this is what's going on right now. This is what's going on right now. They don't have any confidence, they can't stand themselves, and they got like parasites around them where they feel like they have to watch their back. So accessing past life wisdom is helping me understand things with a new perspective. Again, I feel like you're their past life uh, soulmate, and this is what is, you might even consider them a karmic mate because of how they acted. Like, why am I connected to somebody that's not as evolved? And they're not, because like they don't have their own life. So um so I believe that, again, you have triggered those memories because of this past life connection, but also, again, the way that you live, the way that you view things. So it's again, it's relevant. It's not just, oh, accessing past life. It's like we live many, many lifetimes, and we incarnate into the new lifetime with all the wounds that we didn't integrate. So how do we integrate? We integrate through the people that come into our lives, our soulmates. And so this person is a soulmate. It's not like they're not. So what you feel again is genuine. They do love, they do care. What you're seeing is that that they're broken. They don't have their own sense of being. And so this connection is actually inspiring them to do some healing, to look at themselves, to look at their life, to understand things. I daydream about you. Sometimes it's sexual, and other times I visualize our future together. So it's again, they feel like you hold the key to their healing. They feel like that. Again, and I think that that's that ESP connection. Again, when you're connected to a soulmate, it definitely transcends time and space. I mean, that proves to us that love never dies. So you know that there's a lot of passion there. It's just person's not grounded in their own self. So of course the only thing that they can really do right now is daydream. We project our patterns onto each other, and this makes it difficult to see what is real and what is fear-based thinking, which is very common for soulmate connections, right? Projecting patterns. Again, this person did exactly that. They got close to you, it stirred up a lot of feelings, the relationship between you and them, even if you're not in a relationship, they know on some level you're supposed to be, because they can't stop thinking about you. They have all these sexual feelings about you. They, like I said, they can visualize a life with you. And so it's almost like, again, the key to their healing. So even though this feeling is so deep, all this trauma is there. So this actually would have to happen for your person to change. They wouldn't be able to change on their own. They would have stayed connected to people and things and the facade forever, even though they're not happy, because they would have never seen any other like perception, right? And that's really what this is saying. It's like accessing past life gives new perceptions, but that doesn't mean that this person doesn't get triggered. They do get triggered. You do get triggered because those past life memories, part of those things are the wounds, what you've incarnated with. The whole point of why this person's in your life, why you're in this person's life is to learn unconditional love, that energy of God, the energy of the universe. That's what you're made of. However, it doesn't mean that it's easy. What makes it a little easier is this, the whole sexual and passion and attraction and this unconditional love. That's what makes it like easier. That's what makes us want to do the actual healing. But it doesn't mean that it's an easy thing. It's not, because it's requiring this person to completely change their entire life, which needs to happen. And it would also need to make you do certain things, what we're going to look at. I don't feel deserving, and it's affecting my levels of abundance and openness. See, that's what happened from your person being around the wrong people. So we have to say they feel that they are going to make their way back to you. They're just trying to figure out how to get out of this mess. That's what it looks like. But first, there needed to be a realization that there was actually a mess. I feel like for a long time they were gaslighted into believing, no, no, this is good. You like this. And they hid behind the material things. And now they can no longer do that because they just don't feel fulfilled. And they realizing that those material things, they can always go out and buy more things, but there's only one you, right? So we have to ask ourselves, why did you attract a person into your life like this? What are you supposed to be learning? So we always look at the inner child once, because the universe again always brings us what we need, not necessarily what we want. Um, Actually brings us what we want in a nice looking package that we're attracted to. But again, usually the personalities and how things play out, we don't want a lot of that when a person is wounded. The reason why is because of our wounds. Okay, self-love, discipline, physical touch. So I feel like you attracted this person into your life um, because you needed to learn how to love yourself. You needed to be disciplined enough to be grounded in creating yourself more. In physical touch is not just obviously physical touch, but it represents emotional fulfillment. This person coming into your life, they obviously couldn't give you anything emotional. They're not emotionally intelligent for themselves, never mind for you. Again, they're not on the same vibration. It doesn't mean that you can't be with them. What it means is their gifts do not lie there. Those are probably where your gifts lie. You're probably very spiritual, intuitive, and really are emotionally intelligent, but you don't get that nurturing because you are emotionally intelligent. So being aware sometimes is a curse, because when you see someone not do it, it can definitely trigger you to be like, how come you're not doing it if you love me? So it was about being disciplined enough to give yourself the emotional support that you needed for yourself, because that's really what self-love is. It's about not just taking care of yourself, you know, uh, to do your health wise, like to work out, to, if you're going to expand the knowledge in your mind by taking a class, by bettering yourself. But that's really emotional support would be, again, anything that's going to also help you connect to other people maybe within your community. Maybe it allowed you to go deeper within your own career to find a new talent, to find, a new gift, or just gave you the time to go out and find the wonder in the world. Like, what inspires you? What fills your soul? What fills you on an emotional level? And that is a really important lesson for you, because if you didn't know how to do this, you would always wind up short. And I feel like in your past relationships, Virgo, you kind of always wind up short. You get people that don't emotionally give you what you need. Because again, that physical touch in childhood is what we need. That's the nurturing. But again, at the end of the day, we don't necessarily need someone to constantly touch us. What we need is that emotional support. And Spirit says, you need to fill up your cup all the way, let it overflow. Then, when the person comes into your life, you can give them what flows out of the cup. This way, you're never left feeling like there's a hole because you gave so much of yourself. And that also teaches your person boundaries, how they too can create boundaries. Since they have feelings for you, you won't always be there for this person. And what they actually saw is they couldn't gaslight you. They couldn't play you because you were invested in your own life. You were doing that. So, but being in a relationship with this person, if you choose to do so, again, because they're making their way back and it's a collective reading, some of you guys will, some of you guys won't. But for those of you that do, then it's you would teach this person through the fact of how you're living your life. And that's why there's a sense that this person can be with you. That's why they can see themselves in a future with you, and they can't with other people. So other people rob them of their life. So let's ask, what is the energy that we can also pull into this situation to balance it out? In God's hands, my trust in life is implicit. God's greater knowing and greatest love guides my heart and my choices. My faith is steady, and I remain true to my light. Everything unfolds according to God's will. I kind of feel like this is a past life, like past life. I don't want to say karmic me because I don't feel like their intention is to come back and do bad. I feel like they learned their lesson. I feel like they want to be in a relationship, but they don't want to be in a relationship where they lose their life, where they lose themselves, and they don't, and where it robs them of their joy. And that's it seems to be the pattern there. And why they see that they can be with you is because of your life. So if you again continue to be true to your own light, which is being true to your own self, right? By continuing to like give yourself that emotional support. And it doesn't mean that this person's not going to, but they will feel comfortable to give it to you because there won't be the demand of it. You need to give it to me when this person doesn't really know how. It's not because that they're a bad person. It's that everybody has their own way of showing love. Everyone has their own way of feeling comfortable to express themselves and to be vulnerable. And that's going to take a little bit of time, but this relationship, I believe, is a divine one because what Spirit is saying is where there's love and there's both parties, we don't have to resist it. If you give yourself the healing, you don't need that from them, but you guys also will be taught um, that you don't really need as much from the other person because you're doing it for yourselves and this person too, but you're showing this person how to do it without the pressure of them having to figure it out because you're not getting your needs met, which is always what happens in their past relationships, which is why they wind up over giving because then they know that they don't really know how to give it, if that makes any sense. It's like almost like they get into relationships with people that have an idea of what they feel love should look like. And your person never measures up, and then they get yelled at and screamed at and manipulated through their relationship with lovers. Now, with friends, they do the same thing because those friends say, well, you should have did this, you should have done that, you should have done. So it's made your person not trust themselves at all. That's why they're so reliant on other people, and that's why they're actually disgusted. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. I hope that you resonated, and don't forget to write the word disgust in your comment bar if you resonated. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.